Welcome to the Deep Dive. You know how it is. We cut through all that AI noise out there and bring you only what matters.
That's what we do.
Today we're diving into AI news.
Yeah.
From February 7th, 2025.
Oh, cool.
And get this.
Yeah.
This whole episode, researched and generated entirely by AI.
Whoa. Talk about meta, huh?
It really is.
It really is a sign of the times.
Definitely.
We got a pretty fascinating mix of stories today.
Yeah.
Everything from government shakeups to research breakthroughs, all driven by, you guessed it, AI. Ready to jump in?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I am very curious about this one story about Elon Musk
Oh, yeah.
and his Department of Government Efficiency.
Okay.
DOGE.
DOGE.
DOGE, I mean, come on.
I kind of love it.
It's pretty funny.
It is.
Sounds like they're using AI to target potential budget cuts within the U.S. federal government, starting with the Department of Education.
Yeah, this is the one that's got everybody talking for sure. What's really captured everyone's attention is the type of data this DOGE AI is analyzing. We're talking contracts, grants, even diversity programs.
Wow.
They're looking for what they're calling inefficiencies, but a lot of critics are worried about potential bias in the algorithms, and how that could impact these essential services.
Makes you wonder how much autonomy we should be giving these AI systems.
Yeah.
Especially when it comes to something like education.
It's a valid concern, absolutely. I mean, on the one hand, you have the potential for increased efficiency, cost savings, all that.
Right.
But on the other hand, you got to think about the human element. Are we really comfortable leaving these big decisions completely in the hands of machines? This case with DOGE, it's a perfect example.
Yeah.
Why we need careful oversight and ethical considerations when we're implementing AI, particularly, like you said, in something like public education.
Okay, so speaking of pushing boundaries,
Yeah.
OpenAI seems to be on a roll.
They do. They do.
They've unveiled some new AI research tools.
Okay.
Deep Research and O3 Mini.
What?
And people are saying that they are boosting research task completion by like 70%.
70%.
Huh?
Wow. Just imagine the possibilities. Speeding up research, everything from drug discovery to new materials. It's amazing. It really is a significant step forward.
Absolutely.
And it's not even just about speed.
Okay.
It's also their new deep research feature in ChatGPT. It lets users do crazy complex web research.
Oh, wow.
And generate these super detailed reports.
Man.
In minutes.
It looks like they're making really complex research accessible to a much wider audience.
Yeah.
That can be so powerful.
Really could.
Investors are definitely noticing. SoftBank is planning to invest, get this, $40 billion in OpenAI.
$40 billion.
Wow. Valuing the company at $300 billion.
That's a lot of confidence. It shows how much they believe in OpenAI's potential.
Big time.
And a chunk of that funding, it's going to support OpenAI's participation in the U.S. government's Stargate project that's aiming to boost, strengthen AI infrastructure. Seems like everyone is trying to grab a piece of the AI pie these days.
I think you're right. And speaking of grabbing pieces,
Yeah.
Google is getting in on the action. They're testing a new AI mode for search.
Interesting.
Could change how we find and consume information online, like radically.
Really?
Yeah. So think about this. Instead of just getting a list of links, you could ask open-ended questions and then get like AI-generated answers. Boom. Right in your search results.
I see.
Imagine asking Google, what are the ethical implications of AI? And getting a complete rundown right there.
Yeah, that would be pretty amazing, incorporating insights from all over.
Right.
But yeah, it also makes you wonder, what happens to website traffic then?
Yeah.
If people are getting all the info they need from these AI overviews, are they even going to click the links anymore?
Exactly.
Go to the websites. It could completely change the whole online ecosystem as we know it.
It really could. It highlights just how big these ripple effects of AI advancements really are.
Yeah, yeah.
We aren't just talking about little incremental changes here.
Yeah.
We're talking about a fundamental shift in how we interact with information.
Yeah.
And technology.
Absolutely. And you know what else is a big theme today?
What's that?
This idea that AGI, artificial general intelligence,
Okay.
it's closer than we think.
Really?
A lot of industry leaders are predicting a much faster timeline for AGI, some even saying we could see it within this decade. The SoftBank CEO even went so far as to predict that ASI, artificial superintelligence.
Oh, wow.
AI that's actually smarter than humans, that could be here within 10 years.
10 years. That's both really exciting and a little bit scary, honestly.
I know.
I mean, think about it. We could have cures for diseases, solutions to climate change, deeper understanding of the universe. But, what happens when we make something smarter than us? It's uncharted territory.
Yeah, it really is. It's a topic that brings up both, fascination and a little bit of fear. It shows why these conversations are so important right now. Developing AGI and ASI, that
Yeah.
would fundamentally change the relationship between us and machines. It's a future that's full of promise. But also, some risks. We need to approach it with both optimism and caution.
So true.
Well, that's a lot to think about.
It really is.
Maybe we should take a little break.
Yeah,
And then in part 2, we can dig into some of the other big stories making headlines today.
that sounds good to me.
So before the break, we were talking about AGI, remember?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe coming sooner than we thought.
Right.
Definitely one of the biggest things in the news today.
Really makes you think. And speaking of risks, this next story is kind of, I don't know, it's got me a little worried. It's about this Chinese AI company, DeepSeek,
DeepSeek, right?
making headlines, but not for good reasons.
Yeah, not so much. So security testing has shown some, pretty serious problems with their AI model. It looks like it's not blocking harmful prompts.
That's not good.
It's a big red flag. Could be misused.
Especially as AI gets used in more and more important systems, you know what I mean?
It is a bit of a wake-up call, shows how important strong security is, and ethics in AI. We got to build these systems with safety in mind right from the start. Responsibility, too.
For sure.
A
Okay,
bit.
well, let's move on to something a little less, I don't know, scary maybe? This next one's about a French startup, Mistral AI. They're making some noise with this new AI assistant they have, Le Chat, they call it.
Le Chat, yeah, it's getting attention. It's supposed to be super fast, efficient. They call it flash answers.
I like it.
Supposedly can process information crazily fast, like 1,000 words every second.
Whoa, that's faster than I can read.
Right, and it's not just speed. Le Chat can do project tracking, summarize documents, and, get this, it's multilingual.
Sounds like they're going to give ChatGPT a run for its money.
Could be. Always good to see some new competition, right? Pushes everyone to do better.
Keeps things interesting. Speaking of OpenAI, they've been busy too. They just launched a new version of ChatGPT, specifically for government agencies, ChatGPT Gov.
ChatGPT Gov, huh? Sounds like AI's found its way into everything now, even the government.
Right. What's the thinking behind it?
Well, it's all about secure data. That's huge for government work. And they've given it a boost in terms of government info. Streamline the workflows, too. They're trying to create I guess you could say, a virtual assistant for government. Help them be more efficient and all that.
It'll be interesting to see if it actually works. Can AI really cut through all that bureaucracy and red tape?
Who knows? But it's a big goal, that's for sure. Okay, last story for today. This one's kind of a challenge for us and for our listeners. Anthropic, they're an AI company, research-focused. They've come up with this new security framework. They call it constitutional classifiers.
Okay, that's a mouthful.
It is. Basically, it's designed to stop AI jailbreaks.
Jailbreaks, so like tricking an AI into doing something it shouldn't.
Exactly. And they think it's so good, they're asking people to try and break it. They even have these red teams, groups of experts. Their whole job is to find weaknesses.
Yeah.
And so far, nobody's gotten past the defenses. Pretty impressive. Shows how much progress is being made in AI safety and security.
So they're basically saying, come at us, hackers. That's bold. I bet a lot of people will try to crack it.
It's a smart move, though. Crowdsourcing, security testing, find any hidden problems. And it also shows that transparency and collaboration are becoming really important in AI.
Makes sense. We need to make sure that these powerful systems are safe for everyone. Benefit everyone, too. Well, that was a lot. We covered some ground today. Government shakeups, new research, AGI, ethical issues. It's obvious AI is becoming a big part of life.
Right.
And it's only going to get bigger, right? What are your final thoughts on all this?
It's definitely an exciting time. A whole new era of tech is happening right in front of us. But with that, we got to be responsible. We need to make sure AI benefits everyone. And that starts with education, making people aware, being willing to talk about these issues, ethics, control, what it means for humanity as AI keeps evolving. We got to ask the tough questions now.
Yeah, we can't just sit back and watch it happen. We have a role to play in this.
Absolutely. It's up to all of us. Stay informed. Join the conversation. Help guide AI in the right direction, one that helps society. We got to think critically about this stuff, weigh the good and the bad, and work together to make sure AI is a force for good.
Well said. So that wraps up our deep dive into AI. Thanks for listening. And remember, the future isn't something that just happens. We create it. We've learned about a lot today. Elon Musk and DOGE shaking things up in the government, OpenAI's new research tools.
Yeah, and Mistral AI, they're interesting too. Lots going on. AI is definitely not some far-off thing anymore. It's here, it's now.
Absolutely. And it comes with, well, a lot of potential, but also some big challenges, right? We talked about jobs, security risks, ethical questions about AGI, even ASI. It's a lot to wrap your head around.
It is, it is. But one thing that's really stuck with me today is this whole idea about humans and machines, like how our relationship is changing. AI is getting smarter all the time. So are we headed toward a future where machines are in charge? Or can we make it so AI helps us, solves problems, makes life better?
That's the million-dollar question, isn't it?
It is. People have been asking it forever, philosophers, scientists, those sci-fi writers. But I think the answer depends on us. We're the ones who decide how AI develops. If it aligns with our values, our goals, it's not about being scared of the unknown. It's about seeing the possibilities, but also keeping the risks in mind.
I like that. We often focus on the scary stuff, the threats. But there's so many incredible opportunities too. Like, what if AI could help us cure diseases? Or fix climate change? Explore space even further?
Exactly. We could do things we can't even imagine right now. Think about education, everyone learning in their own way, AI tutors helping them, healthcare that catches diseases early on, people living longer, healthier lives. It's pretty amazing to think about.
It is. It's inspiring. But how do we actually make that happen? We're at a turning point, I think. The choices we make now, they're going to shape everything.
You're right. We have to be responsible. We need to think about ethics, make sure everything's transparent, accountable, and work together across different fields, different countries. It's not just on tech companies, governments, policymakers, everyday people. We all have a part to play.
It's a huge job.
It is. But it's also a chance to change the world, to build a future where technology empowers us, helps us solve the big problems we're facing.
That's a great way to put it. We're not just watching this happen. We're part of it. This technological revolution, we're right in the middle of it. And by talking about these things, making sure AI is developed ethically, working together globally, we can make AI a force for good.
That's a great point to end on. Thanks for being with us today on the Deep Dive.
It's been fun.
We hope you learned some things, thought about some things, and maybe even feel a little inspired.
Yeah, remember, the future of AI is not set in stone. It's something we create together. So be curious, stay engaged. Let's build a future where AI helps us all.
Couldn't have said it better myself. That's all for this deep dive. Thanks for joining us.